In this screencast, we'll show how to get started using the Cloud9 Web-Based Integrated Development Environment, or IDE, to do the work in the Engineering Software as a Service textbook and free online course. We'll start at the Cloud9 page. I assume you've already created a Cloud9 account, so I'm going to create a new Cloud9 workspace. I'll give it a name, I'll make it a public workspace, and I'll choose the blank workspace template. This process should take under a minute, and once our workspace opens, I'll make the command line terminal a little bit larger. To set up our Cloud9 environment with all the software we'll need for developing software as a service, we'll go to the GitHub repo that we maintain in conjunction with the book, click on the link for Cloud9 Setup, and copy and paste this single command line into our Cloud9 terminal window. This starts an installation process on your Cloud9 workspace that could take a bit over 10 minutes, but the good news is every time you come back to Cloud9 in the future, it'll be just as you left it, so you only have to run this command once. In the meantime, this might be a good time to get a cup of coffee while the installation completes. Next, we have to get a copy of our example application, Rotten Potatoes, into our Cloud9 workspace. We'll do this by first forking the GitHub repo, which means that we're going to create a copy in our own account. Then we'll bring that copy down into Cloud9 so that if we decide to make any changes to it, we'll be able to save those changes to our own copy. Once we have our own fork, we'll clone that fork into our Cloud9 workspace. Next, we'll change into the directory containing the app code that we just downloaded, and we'll run the bundle command, which, as the book explains, makes sure that all of the libraries required by the app are installed and ready. The last thing we have to do before we can interact with an app for the first time is to set up its database. This database setup command will create the initial database based on the schema and migrations that were part of the app we downloaded from GitHub. We're finally ready to run the app. The Cloud9 IDE always sets the Unix environment variables port and IP to the specific TCP port number and IP address that SaaS apps must use when we're testing them on Cloud9. These are different from the port and IP numbers that you would probably use if you were developing on your own computer. Once we start the Rails server at that port and IP address, Cloud9 pops up a small window showing a URI from which traffic will be correctly directed to that port and IP address. We can just click on that URI to visit the running app in a regular web browser running on our own computer. We could now go back to the Cloud9 IDE to make changes to the app, and even if we close the Cloud9 window, when we come back to it in the future, everything will be just as we left it.